There are moments in life when everything feels silent. You pray, but you don't see immediate change. You work hard, but the results seem delayed. You try to stay positive, but deep inside there is a quiet question asking, is anything really happening? If you've been feeling like that, this message is for you. Because just because you cannot see movement does not mean nothing is moving. Just because you cannot hear answers does not mean no one is listening. There are seasons in life where progress is invisible. And invisible progress is still progress. Think about how a movie is made. Before the audience ever sees the final masterpiece, there are months of preparation behind the scenes. Scripts are written, scenes are reshot, lighting is adjusted, mistakes are corrected. The audience only sees the polished version, but the real work happens privately. In the same way, your life has a behind-the-scenes process. There are adjustments being made that you cannot see. There are delays protecting you from outcomes you are not ready for. There are redirections guiding you towards something better than what you originally asked for. Sometimes we mistake silence for absence. But silence can mean preparation. When an archer pulls back an arrow, the arrow moves backward before it shoots forward. That backward movement is not failure, it is positioning. If your life feels like it has moved backward, maybe you are being positioned for greater distance. The tension you feel right now might be the very force that launches you into your next season. You have survived every difficult day up until this moment. That alone proves that strength lives inside you. There were times you thought you would not recover, yet you did. There were disappointments that felt permanent, yet you are still standing. You underestimate how resilient you are. Strength does not always look loud and confident. Sometimes strength looks like getting out of bed when you don't feel motivated. Sometimes strength looks like choosing not to give up when everything feels uncertain. Quiet endurance is still strength. It is easy to trust when things are going well. It is easy to have faith when doors are opening quickly. But real faith grows in waiting seasons. Waiting stretches you. It tests your patience. It forces you to confront your doubts. But it also deepens your character. Anyone can celebrate during success. Not everyone can remain steady during uncertainty. The waiting season builds emotional muscles you didn't know you needed. You might be comparing your life to someone else's timeline. Social media makes it look like everyone else is moving ahead faster. But comparison creates unnecessary pressure. You are not behind. You are on a different path. And different paths require different preparation. What if your slower season is actually a stronger foundation? Buildings that rise the highest usually take the longest to construct because their foundations must be deep and stable. If your progress feels slow, maybe your foundation is being strengthened. There is also something powerful about disappointment. Disappointment reveals where your expectations were placed. Sometimes we attach our happiness to specific outcomes. We say, if this works out, then I'll be okay. But peace cannot depend on one outcome. Growth happens when you learn to trust beyond specific results. What is meant for you will not miss you. And what misses you was never meant to carry your future. Have you ever noticed that breakthroughs often happen after the hardest moments? It's almost as if pressure builds to a point where change becomes unavoidable. Pressure is uncomfortable, but it produces transformation. Coal under pressure becomes diamond. Muscles under resistance become stronger. Character under challenge becomes deeper. You may not enjoy the pressure, but it is shaping you in ways comfort never could. There are things aligning that you cannot see yet. Conversations are happening. Opportunities are forming. Lessons are preparing you. Even mistakes are teaching you something valuable. Nothing is wasted when you choose to learn from it. Every setback contains information. Every failure carries feedback. If you reflect instead of regret, you will grow faster than you think. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. Timing is not always about speed, it is about readiness. If something hasn't happened yet, it doesn't mean it won't. It may simply mean that the pieces are still coming together. Imagine trying to complete a puzzle with missing pieces. Frustration would grow. But once the missing pieces arrive, the picture finally makes sense. Your life is like that puzzle. Some pieces are still on their way, Faith does not eliminate fear. It gives you the courage to move despite fear. You can feel uncertain and still continue. You can feel tired and still persist. You can feel confused and still trust that clarity will come. Courage is not the absence of doubt. It is action in the presence of doubt. Every time you choose to continue, even in small ways, you strengthen your future self. There will come a day when you look back at this season and understand it differently. The confusion will make sense. The delays will feel purposeful. The challenges will appear as training. And you will be grateful that you did not quit. Often the very season you want to escape is the season that prepares you for what you have been praying for. So if today feels heavy, remind yourself that heaviness is temporary. If progress feels invisible, remind yourself that roots grow underground before branches appear above ground. If doors seem closed, remind yourself that closed doors can redirect you toward better entrances. Keep working. Keep believing. Keep growing quietly. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean nothing is happening. Your story is still being written. The chapter you are in right now is not the final one. Do not judge the whole book by one difficult page. Every strong story includes tension before resolution. Every transformation includes discomfort before breakthrough. Trust that something meaningful is forming. Trust that your efforts matter. Trust that this season is building strength you will soon need. And most importantly, do not give up before the shift happens. Sometimes the breakthrough is closer than you think. Sometimes the answer is already on its way. Keep your heart steady. Keep your focus clear. Keep your faith strong. Because even when you cannot see it, something is moving. Even when you cannot feel it, something is changing. And one day very soon, what felt like silence will turn into clarity. What felt like delay will turn into perfect timing, and what felt like struggle will turn into strength. Until then, stay patient, stay resilient, and remember, the work happening behind the scenes is just as real as the results you are waiting to see.